In a previous video, I teared down that Canon LiDE N670U scanner from 2001, and it got an optical solution of 600 by 1200. And now I have a Canon LiDE scanner 100 from 2008. with optical resolution of 2400 by 4800 lines per inch. So, yeah, I thought it would be interesting to see the differences. Yeah, you can refer to the old video for the details, card link. And the first thing I noticed right out of the bat is that unit here is a wee bit thicker. To be exact, 6 millimeters thicker. So that old N670U was aboutish. Yeah, it was kind of a mess of measuring it because everything is so round. 25 millimeters thick, and the 7 years newer unit, the 100, without the lid, just the body, is about 31 millimeters thick. And I guess it's because you need a little bit more room for better optics to get the higher resolution. But yeah, let's get this thing apart now. And the first act is to remove the lid so it's no longer in the way, and the lid is simply some snapped in. I have no idea if I'll be able to remove that without destroying the whole thing. Should be possible. Yeah, only a little sliver of plastic came off. Yeah, it's not supposed to come apart. Yeah, second step, that's, as far as I can see, the same like the old ones. This is just glued on here. There's even still the transport security tape on it. And yeah, I've got that unit here from a scrap heap scavenge card link. Before you shout at me for destroying it, yeah, no Windows 10 driver support. Yeah, I mean, it was made in 2008, or the model came out in 2008. I have no idea when that one was actually produced. Maybe we can have a look at the back. So this is really just glued down. With double-sided tape, no less. Yeah. Let's get rid of these ones. They're just annoying. So let's see. Some sticker with a production date somewhere. Just out of interest. Nope. Nope. Just... Can I have a focus, please? Yeah, serial number. And I guess that's also the same there. Yeah, you can slide the glass plate a little bit and then lift it out. And we are in. Nice. Yeah, that's the same like the older model. Then we have everything here on a track. Okay. Yeah, that came apart easily. Yeah. And the cables are somewhere behind here, going to there. I need a screwdriver. Okay. This is not metal, this is only plastic. I have no idea what its purpose is besides, yeah, hiding all the cables that go into the controller board. Yeah, I leave the screw in here. And that thingy, and oh, the cables are glued with some ferrite, big rectangular ferrite beads around them to keep the RF emissions down. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, nice. There are even, you know, special cutouts here, so that whoever it's assembling that won't put the ferrites in the wrong place. There are much more cables than in the other model. And yeah, can I get that part out? Yes, with a smaller screwdriver. With a very small screwdriver. Even that here is too big. Let's try that one here. Yeah, and there's the first big difference. So here the optics are moved by on a tooth rack by a pinion, and the pinion is, well, there's a little stepper motor. It is a stepper motor, yeah, 4 lines going into it. So yeah, and the old one second, that was also only a very small stepper motor, but it pulled itself along this string, and in addition it was guided by that massive metal rod, while the new one has just this bent piece of metal as guide. So they definitely cut down on production cost here. And to get the metal guide out, I have to go to the back side, I guess. And everything I carefully put in is falling out now. 2 small screws. One here and one here. But I can throw everything in again. No problem. And now I can remove that guide rod. What, another screw? No, can't be. Yes, another screw. Oh. Everything falls out again. Some screw fell to the floor. I don't care, I will search it in a minute. Another black screw in the black body. So, now we're finished. Okay, I won't put it back just right now. Yeah, and then, yeah, everything's taped down. It's double-sided tape, and there's a little cable guy here. Cable guide. And okay, this is yeah, the digital interface. Yep, to the scanner and probably RGB LED to light the whole thing. And this 4-wire flat is going to the stepper motor. Yeah, we're almost empty. Ah, that's sticky. And then that third flex goes to the front, where there's a tiny little board. I have no idea how this fits in here. Some snap-in action, I guess. Oh yes. Actually quite a lot of snap-ins. Okay. So that's, yeah, nothing much to see here. A little board with, sorry, am I in focus? Yeah, almost a little board with 4 tiny switches. The front. And now I should be able to get the board out, and the board, that's interesting, the board is screwed. No snap-in, but a screw. I think I never disassembled that part on the old one. Oh, yeah. And just one piece, one plastic piece extruded or something. With the 4 buttons. And this is all very sticky. And now we should be able to get the rest of the board out. Just for comparison, this is all one piece, and yeah, it's mounted from the inside, probably also with snap-ins. So yeah, they made that part with the buttons more complicated, I think, but yeah, I guess it still was still cheaper. And that is a controller, completely shielded, but the shield is also only snapped in. It's hopefully not Oh yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's soldered down on one side. Yeah. I will desolder that, and then we have a closer look at this. And we have, of course, a closer look at that assembly here, which already falls apart. Yeah, that's the mechanical part with the stepper motor. Yeah. Riding along on the pinion. And I should be able to just slide it out. Yeah, and that's the scanner optic, complete with some RGB LEDs for lighting, which we will discover. So yeah, let's dive into these two parts next. Before that, a small addendum to the board with the micro switches that was snapped in at the front. There is also a little optical sensor here. Can you see that? Yeah, so light emitter and something light sensitive to probably detect the end position of the units sliding through the machine. And yeah, there's also that little tab here, which slides in here. So the machine knows when this is in the front position. The optical sensor should give us no surprises. There are two, this is nylon at the end, which is probably sliding inside the case, so kind of self-lubricating. And the board is simply snapped in, I guess. So let's see if we can snap it out. It's not only snapped in, but there are also two little, come on. Two little heat stakes here and here. And now the board should lift out without further ado. And there it is. And I think we need to zoom in into that a little bit more. So that's the business side of the board, and at one end it starts with the RGB LED. And you might think these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins, but they aren't. This is actually Can I have a refocus here? Probably not at that distance. Yeah, I'll show you that afterwards. Yeah, these two pins are one and the same electrically. That was our input connector. So why it's called LED 2, I have no idea. Anyway, that's our CCD, the whole thing here. And it's actually, oh, I need the macro lens because it says CCD1. So is that... Yeah, you can see it. So it's multiple CCD chips here, which are only a single row scanner. I mean, the thing is moving. And for each line, the RGB LED here is lighting up once for every primary color. Some support stuff. Yeah, CCD2. Yeah, remember that thing has 4800 resolution. So yeah, quite a lot. CCD3, CCD4, and a little chip. And actually, okay, I will get the macro lens out in a second. Actually, a chip, yeah, not in a case. A chip directly on the board and bonded to pads. Very nice. CCD5, CCD6, CCD7, CCD8. And no LED 1. I wonder... Oh, made in Taiwan, by the way. I wonder why. So I got the macro lens out, and yeah, this is the head of my screwdriver. So no point in pointing at anything, but you see that from the die, they have really directly bonded the connection to the board, and this is really just glued onto the board, the die, and it has a nice structure. I don't have a microscope, so I can't show you more details, but I will keep the board, and as soon as I have a microscope at some point, we'll have a nice look at that one. I promised you a shot from the side, and you see the two outer pins are really one pin. This is probably done for heat dissipation, because since this little RGB LED is illuminating the whole length, yeah, of the scanner, or the whole width, yeah, it's traveling this way, it has to put out a whole lot of power. That brings us one last time to the optics. You see, this here at that end, the light from the RGB LED is fed in, and these are little prisms, or yeah, irregularities built into the glass that reflect the light upwards. And the further away we are, actually, the more frequent these irregularities or prisms, microprisms or whatever are. Because, yeah, if you are, you're losing light down the way, of course, if you are always reflecting stuff up. So the further you go away from the LED, the more frequent you have, yeah, to throw a little beam up to the paper or whatever you are scanning. And yeah, we have to zoom in for that, because you can't really see it, but this is the optic for the CCD sensor. Yeah, I'll zoom in again. Yeah, you can actually see here that pattern of microprisms in the RGB LED, in the lighting optic, and you, yeah, from this side you get just a hint of the optics that go down to the charge coupled device. And I think from the other side, yeah, that's, I think, a little bit better to see. I mean, it's almost black. I mean, it's all black and black, but you see the reflection. And yeah, there's also optical pattern embedded in that strip of glass or strip of plastic, whatever it is. Now for the main course, which is a little bit disappointing. We have a 12 megahertz quartz here. Here's our USB connector. That buggers off to our stepper motor. That was to the front panel, and that's to the RGB LEDs and yeah, the CCD device. Yeah, basically that chip, the GL848 from Genesis, does it all. It's a high-speed USB 2.0 2-in-1 scanner controller with ADF, so automatic document feed and bus power. I didn't find the exact data sheet for the 847, only for the 848 and some lower version, lower numbers, 845 or 843. But they all have that automatic document feed ADF feature, and it's obviously not used here. But apart from that, that thing does all controlling the stepper motor, doing the USB communication, reading the charge coupled device, yeah, everything. And it's accompanied by that ESMT SDRAM M12L 16161A. So 512K by 16 bits and 2 banks of that. That makes almost 4 megabyte. Yeah, 4 megabyte. Oh, so yeah, something quite big. I mean, yeah, high resolution, high color depth. You need that memory probably. Yeah, an inductor, which is slightly magnetic, big, relatively big electrolytic, and 6 transistors. So yeah, that's probably the half bridges for, could also be RGB LEDs, but yeah, probably the power driver for the stepper motor, also from, yeah, the location. But why they need 6 transistors, I don't know. I drew a blank here that's marked, you probably can't read it, but it's marked 6608G or 932A2. Best guess it's another SDRAM, but I don't think so. Also, that chip here labeled 8451 and the second line 934A. The nearest, I couldn't find a data sheet for it, but the nearest guess is an USB to I2C/SPI interface or something like that. So yeah, not quite sure. That one was simple, the VHC175 label, or an additional line 932. That's actually a 74 VHC175 quad D-type flip-flop. Yeah, your usual glue logic to get everything together. And yeah, made at February 27, 2008. Yeah. And yeah, a little comparison to the 7 years older board in the other scanner. Sorry for the reflection, but the old boards are under glass. Oh, and here's the old charge coupled device. Anyway, that's a new board, so there is a whole lot more going on than on the old board in the less advanced scanner, which has also the 3 front buttons integrated, but has an extra USB power supply board. So that was in the front, of course, in the older scanner, and that was in the back where the USB port was, obviously. Yeah, so you would expect after 7 years of chip development that you can integrate the functionality of only slightly better. Yeah, okay, so double resolution, more color depth, whatever, maybe a little bit more speed, that you could integrate that also in one little chip. But obviously you can't. So that was the teardown of the Canon LiDE 100 scanner, model of 2008, with a little cross comparison with that slightly older 2001 N670U. And besides the change from pulley and string for the movement and a really massive guiding rod to rack and pinion, this thing has not gotten simpler. Okay, as I said, optical resolution is quadrupled, but compared to the old model, but nevertheless, I mean, there's a whole lot going on here. Also on the board with a number of chips, and remember the front we disassembled. That's much simpler in the older model, and it was not what I expected. I expected that to be much simplified, much simpler, that is cheaper to produce, even that it has quadrupled the optical resolution. Anyway, that's it for today. Bye.